All right, looking at 10.5 here, we have addition and subtraction of or with polynomials. Um, Subtractions, you're going to find you make a few more sign errors than addition, so whenever you spot a subtraction problem like this, and there's a whole bunch of subtraction in here, you want to be extra careful, okay? So when you see this subtraction here, you can kind of think about that this is the distributive property here, and this -1 would get distributed into this second parenthesis here. So the first parenthesis doesn't really do anything except kind of signify like, hey, this is a binomial here. You could think about if you had a +1 in front there, nothing really happens. It just stays the same. So we have this. Then we end up getting from the multiplication, we get +7x and +5. Okay, we got to make sure that that negative sign changes this sign here also. Okay, and then we're going to collect our like terms, so we get 16x plus 8. Okay, so simplifying or adding polynomials. Now this next one, since it's addition, we can just drop the parentheses and collect our like terms. I always like to start by spotting out the highest power so I can get my polynomial or my result in descending order. So there's no other x squareds here, so I'm just going to write that up front. Then I'm going to look for x's here. X to the first power, I see I have a -2x and a -9x. That's going to make -11x when I combine those. And then I'm going to look for my constants. Okay, I'm just going to put squares around those. There's a -6 and a +7. That's going to make +1. Okay, and that's the simplified or added polynomials. Okay, now next up we have some subtraction here. Okay, so I'm going to distribute this -1. Now some students have learned this technique. They'll say, well, I'll change this to addition, change this to subtraction, change this to subtraction, or negative. Okay, that's distributing the negative, but you got to be a little careful with that. All right, I'm going to rewrite everything here. So I have -3x minus 1 minus 5x squared minus 7x minus 4. Okay, again, similar to B, I'm going to first pick this squared term. I'm going to write it up front. There's no matching other squared terms, so I don't have anything to combine that with. Then I'm going to look for, I kind of joke and just say plain old x's, but x to the first power. So I have -10x. Remember, you're doing -3x plus -7x. Okay, and then I'm going to put my constants together. I'll put a square around these, -1 and -4. It's going to make -5. Okay, and that's the subtracted polynomials. All right, this last one here, a little bit messy. We want to take some time here and think, where do I actually get started with this? And the start happens inside this bracket here, and it starts with this -3 being distributed, this -3 being distributed into this binomial. Okay, so I'm going to copy down what I haven't touched yet. I haven't touched the 2y to the third. I haven't touched the minus sign, the bracket, the 12. These are all things that I haven't messed with yet. And now I'm going to distribute that and get -15 plus 24y squared. Okay. So now working inside this bracket, I see some y squareds and some more y squareds. So I'm going to put those together. -15 and 24 make 9y squared. So I haven't touched the 2y to the third. I got my minus sign, have my bracket, and then I'm going to make 9y squared. And then I'm going to put these constants together, being careful with the sign. I get 3. Okay, and then I'm going to distribute this negative like I've done in the previous problems, and I get 2y to the third minus 9y squared, and then this is where we have to be a little careful. That negative here causes that to become positive 3. I looked this over, and none of these things can go together because they have different powers on the variables, and this is just a constant. So that's it, and it's in descending order. Your answers don't have to be in descending order, but I just like to get in the habit of writing them from the highest power down to the lowest power. All right. You can see what's up next in 10.6. We have multiplication with polynomials. So that'll be the next video.